politician talks, you gotta listen. I won't lose myself for anybody. I'm not sorry. Yeah. 'Cause you build me up to break me down. Never respect the love you found. And I had a voice inside the back of my mind. I always knew it deep down. You don't deserve me, babe, I won't lie. Got no more tears to cry. Oh, no looking back this time. 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 Running from the truth was getting reckless. In your arms I never felt protected. Oh. 'Cause you don't deserve me, babe, I won't lie. Got no more tears to cry. Oh. No looking back this time. 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 No looking back this time.
Evening. I hope you are all well. I wanted to do a quick show after the Hissam show that I've just been on, just to kind of talk a little bit about the game tomorrow, and also cover off a little bit around team news. Also, we can talk about the whole situation with Mark Gahey, and potentially if there's any other players that we might be looking at, and also we can also talk about the squad and potentially Xabi Alonso as well, which is another conversation to have. If you're not a subscriber, please hit the subscribe button. That would be amazing. I think I'm at 2K now, but I'm not 100% sure because I've been there or thereabouts in the last couple of days. So that would be great. Yeah, I wanted to kind of explain a little bit more about the Gahey situation, how I see it, and also a little bit from the point of view of what does it actually mean? Like, does signing anybody right now make any difference right now with Arnie as the coach? Because that's what we're not really looking at. And I also wanted to kind of have a conversation around Richard Hughes, Michael Edwards, and the future of Liverpool as well, because I think that's really important. So I'm going to bring up a couple of images so we can look at. Okay, one of them is this situation, which is Canate. So the whole situation with Canate, for me, is an ongoing problem with Liverpool, but it's also a reason why Gahey probably hasn't been signed, and a reason why Gahey wasn't a priority in the winter window. In the last summer window that we had. And so you have to look at it from a perspective of, you have a number of key positions that needed players for. And I'm talking first team players. I'm not talking backup. I'm talking first team players. Now, we all knew from last season that Arnie wanted a small squad because he told us all. He told everybody that he likes working with a small squad. And we know that he doesn't play any other players. If he has his first team players available, then he won't play anybody else. Endo never got game time. Elliott never got game time. Kwanzaa never got game time. Chiesa never got game time. There's a number of players that didn't get any game time at Liverpool. Tyler Morton didn't get any game time. There's a number of players that didn't get any game time at Liverpool when the first team 11 were fit. Okay. All right. We sold Diaz because Diaz wanted to go and we got offered a lot of money for him. We took that opportunity. We didn't replace him. Or did we replace him? That's the question, because Rio Engamoa was not a first team player back then. Rio Engamoa was brought into the first team because he was seen as an exceptional talent, and he did training with the first team last season. So they knew about his talent. Okay. He was then brought in the first team in pre-season to see whether he could be the backup for Cody. And from what we've seen in the pre-season, there was nothing that didn't show that Rio could be a replacement for Cody off the bench. I seen it. Everybody else seen it. Okay? We're not making this up. Rio was a good backup for Cody off the bench. So he was seen as the left winger replacement for Diaz. Okay? You have to remember that Diaz was used last season as a number 9 because the number 9s in Diogo and Nunes were very poor. They were very poor and they didn't score enough goals. So Diaz was used as a number 9. He was used as a left winger. He was used in both positions predominantly. Okay. Cody came in and did a job in the left wing and proved he could be a good left winger. He could be our first team left winger. Why not? Why not? I believed it. Everybody else did as well. Okay. We bought 2 fantastic forwards. We broke the record, the British record, for Alexander Isak, 125 million. He was on number 9. He was to replace a Diogo or a Nunes. And then we bought Ekitike, who was also there to replace Nunes or a Jota. But he could also play on the left side, which meant you had a player that was flexible in playing in the 9 and also on the left, because he's done it before. He plays on the left for France. Okay? He's capable of doing that job. So you had players that were there to do those positions. You had them. We bought them. And then you have Wirtz. Wirtz currently plays on the left-hand side most games now, okay? So we didn't buy him to play on the left-hand side. We know that. We bought him to play as the 10, okay? We didn't buy a like-for-like right winger because Liverpool have never done that. That's never been a Liverpool thing when Mo Salah's been playing for Liverpool because Mo Salah never misses a game for Liverpool. But we did buy a player that can play right wing and at a very high level, and that is Jerome Frimpong. So Jeremy Frimpong or Jerome Frimpong, I can't remember how you say his name now, was bought to be the right-sided utility player, which meant he could play right wing, he could also play right back. And we all know that Arnie wanted to play Conor Bradley as his predominant right back. That's why he got a new contract. Okay? So all of those positions are covered. All of them. They're all covered. We sold Elliott. Doesn't matter. We got Wirtz. Okay? We sold Nunes. Doesn't matter. We got Ekitike. Diogo passed away, unfortunately. It's really sad. We had Isaac. Yeah? Diaz moved on. We had Rio. Yeah? We never got a replacement. We never got a backup for Salah because we never have. But we had Frimpong. And obviously Trent left and we had another right back in Frimpong. Okay? So all of those positions were done. All right? We sold Quansah. Yeah? We replaced Quansah, who was a backup player that never played any games for Liverpool. He played a couple of cup games last season for Liverpool, and he played when Konate got injured. No, he didn't. Gomez played when Konate got injured. So we replaced Quansah with another player that wasn't going to play much football. Leone. Like this conversation that we didn't buy enough players all over the park is totally redundant. We moved Simicast on. We bought Kirkes. Like we never had a replacement for Virgil van Dijk. There was players that we just didn't have replacements for. And that's just the way Liverpool have been for a very long time. We never had replacement for Virgil. We never have. We never had a replacement for Salah. We never have because they never miss any games. Yeah. We even got a brilliant backup for Ali in Mamadashvili. Liverpool did a fantastic amount of business and they did business in the right areas. It's got nothing to do with those players that Arnie decided to just put them all in shit positions and set them up to fail with the formation and the tactics that he played. It's got nothing to do with the players. Like, if it was up to me, I probably would have eased Kirkes in slower. I would have played Robbo for a few games and then brought Kirkes in slowly. But he didn't. He just threw him straight in. He couldn't play Bradley because Bradley was injured. So he had to play Frimpong. Then Frimpong got injured. Then Bradley got injured. And then he had a situation where he didn't have any right backs. That's just injuries. Like, that's not because we didn't sign enough players. But the problem I had, he didn't play Gomez. That's down to the manager. That's not down to the team. That's not down to the signings. That's not down to Hughes or Edwards. He had Gomez fit. He could have played him as a right back. He decided he would use Szoboszlai, Curtis Jones. He decided he would use those players and not use a right back, as in Gomez. He still had Leone. He still had Leone fit when he started playing Szoboszlai as the right back. And he had Gomez on the bench. He had Leone on the bench. He still had players that could have played in positions. Like this whole scenario of Mark Guehi was going to fix everything. He was going to be the guy. Like Mark Guehi was not going to play football for us because Konate was there. Like the only way Mark Guehi would have got into the Liverpool team is if he'd have had an amazing pre-season and he'd have pushed Konate out. But do you think Konate would have played as bad if Guehi was on the bench? I don't think so. I think that might have pushed Canate even better. Or Canate would have just fell off a cliff like he did last time when he had competition with Gahey. And then you find out what type of player you have. Okay? And that's sometimes how it works. But for us to all sit there and go, oh my God, the club's negligent. They need to buy this. They need to buy that. I don't agree. I don't agree because if we bought Mark Gahey and Semenyo and they did well and we still played really shit football, seriously, we still carried on playing the shit football that we played, but they managed to win a few more games, but we still played terrible football. Yeah. And maybe Semenyo comes off the bench a few times and scores some goals. Or maybe Gahey comes off the bench and plays a bit more. And Liverpool improves slightly. And instead of drawing 0-0, we win 1-0. And that means Arnie's kept in a job and he gets a new 3-year contract. And then we have to carry on watching this disgusting, horrible, turgid football. Is that what you want? Is that genuinely what you want? You want that manager to be backed in this window and for him to slightly improve by 5%, but we carry on playing this football. I'd rather the manager wasn't backed. I'd rather the coach wasn't backed. And he's seen out the season with what he's got, and then we then sack him and we get someone new in. And he gets the choice, which is probably going to be Alonso. Let's be honest, it's probably going to be Alonso. If Alonso doesn't come to Liverpool, then he's going to City to replace Pep. But I don't think Pep's going anywhere now. So if it is Alonso, which it's probably going to be because that was who Edwards wanted in the first place, but he said he would stay at Bayer Leverkusen for another year, and that's the reason why we didn't get him, then do you want Arnie to succeed? Or would you just take top 4, potentially an FA Cup, potentially a quarter-final, semi-final of the Champions League, and just write this season off? And write this season off like maybe last season should have been. Like, if I'm completely honest, nobody expected us to do what we did last season. But we have. And the roles have reversed. This season feels like the season that we should have had last season, where we potentially finish 3rd or 4th, and we potentially win a cup. And we maybe get through to the semis or the quarterfinals of the Champions League. And then we make a raft of signings and then we push on to then challenge the league. But we did it the other way round. But instead of us getting better, we've got worse. So we've had the euphoria and we won with Arnie. And thank you. Thanks for the memories. But now we move on. And we replace you at the end of this window, at the end of in the summer. Because even if we did get Alonso, and we sacked Arnie now, and then we brought Alonso in, I don't think Alonso's got enough time to even get any players that he wants. This would be the same situation that he had at Real Madrid, where he was brought in with no pre-season really quickly, didn't sign any players that he wanted because they'd already been signed. And it was a case of, there you go, mate. Like, make it work. And he's like, you don't even play the formation that I play. Like, I haven't got enough players to play the formation that I want to do. Like, we haven't signed the players that fit my systems. Like, and that's the problem that Alonso had. And by the way, Alonso had the best record any Real Madrid managers had before. Like, for him to be absolutely ridiculed the way he has is beyond me. Like, that's Alonso's record. It's better than any other Real Madrid manager. And he's just being completely castigated like he was a flop. Like, he's second in the league by like 3 points and he's 7th in the Champions League. Like, the guy hasn't failed. The guy just hasn't had a chance to succeed. And You know, at the end of the day, he's playing a 4-4-2 formation, which just isn't his bag. Like, that's just not what he does. He's not a 4-4-2 manager. He's a 3-5-2, or he's a 3, what is it, a 3-2-4-1 or something like that. I can't remember. But he's not that type of manager. He doesn't play that formation. And look, we're sacking it now when we're looking at an 11-game unbeaten run, and there's a lot of shit draws and there's a lot of shit football. But potentially this is gonna get us into the Champions League next season. And right now, I'd take the Champions League. I would take us getting into the Champions League next season, and potentially having a run in a cup. And if he plays his best team in every FA Cup game, then there's a high probability that we'll get to the final and we'll play and potentially win a cup, because we've done it before. We've got lots of players that have experienced it. They have the experience to do it again. And look, if we might get an easy draw in the Champions League. We might beat Marseille away. We might beat Karabag at home, and we might nip into the 8th. We might finish 8th or 7th, and we might get an easy draw. Yeah, we could get an easy club. We could. It could happen. Okay, we could end up with Tottenham. I mean, that would be easy. So we could end up with Tottenham, or we could end up with whoever. Yeah, but we can end up with maybe a Portuguese club because they seem to be easy, or an Italian club because they seem to be easy against us, or we might end up with a German club. I don't know. But there is a chance that we could spawn our way all the way through to maybe the semi-finals in the Champions League. And then we come up against, I don't know, a PSG, an Arsenal, a Barcelona. Like, it's probably not going to be Real Madrid right now because they've kind of fallen off a cliff a bit now. So I don't know, but we could spawn our way close to the end games, yeah, with Arnie, and we might carry on getting the win and the draw, in the Premier League, because we're very, very capable of doing that. We certainly are when we've got a striker that's got 14 goals. We certainly are when we've got a right back, right winger that's pumping out 5 GA, 6 GA now. Like, there's no reason why Frimpong can't finish the season on 15 GA. There's no reason that Ekatike can't finish the season on 25 GA. There's no reason why Vert can't continue to get a goal and an assist every game. There's no reason why that can't happen. There's no reason why Dom can't chip in with more goals. There's no reason why when Mo comes back, he can be a threat, because he'll have Frimpong there, which will give him the overlap, which will help Mo get into the box more. There's no reason why that can't happen. But for us to just say that, well, if we don't sign Semenyo and we don't sign Guehi, then it's negligence and the season's done, I think that's a little bit premature, because I don't see Guehi playing. Konate's played every game. Konate can put the ball in the back of our net twice. He could score 2 own goals and he'd still get picked the next game. Cody could hit the stands 50 times, cut in, hit the stand 50 times, hit the shins of defenders 50 times, and he still gets picked the next game. McAllister can just walk around with a wheelchair, in a Zimmer frame, whatever, just stumble around the pitch like walking football, dog shit all game. He gets picked next game. Like, this is what it is. This is what we have. We have a coach that won't drop players, and we have a coach that just wants to play more midfielders consistently in games. He'll drop attackers. He won't play attackers. He'll play more midfielders. He won't drop central defenders, even if they have shit games. And we're in a situation where he's already said that he has better options than his reserve right back. So he's been asked, are you going to play Frimpong as your right winger, and Arnie's gone, maybe, and they've gone, so does that mean Calvin Ramsey's going to get some game time as a right back? And he said, no, I've got better options. So he's already said that he wants to play Szoboszlai or Endo or Jones as the right back because he won't play Gomez there. So he's already said that. Like, like the coach has already said, I don't trust my reserve right back. I don't trust him. I'd rather play a midfielder than my reserve right back. And he's not going to play Gomez because he hasn't got another central defender as a backup. So he's always going to have Gomez on the bench as a backup because he doesn't have one. And we can all sit here and go, oh, we should have signed Gahey. So what's Gahey going to do? Gahey's going to be sat on the bench and Gomez is going to play right back. It makes no difference. It genuinely makes no difference what we do because he's always going to play a midfielder as the right back if Frimpong's not there. And if Frimpong is there, then he's going to play a midfielder as the right winger because Szoboszlai is going to play there. So it's like you're damned if you do or you're damned if you don't with this manager because it doesn't matter because he has his favourites and he won't pick anybody else. Like Gomez has been fit all season. He hasn't played him. Endo was fit all season. Didn't play him. Like Chiesa's been fit all season. Doesn't play him. Rio's been fit all season. Doesn't play him. Like Andy Robinson's been fit all season. He hasn't played him a lot, but he's been fit, which meant that you could have pushed Kerkez into the left wing if you wanted. Kerkez could play left wing. Like, I haven't got an issue in playing there. He loves getting forward. You didn't play him. Like, there's games where players just haven't played. And that's down to the manager. That's down to the coach. He just doesn't want to play them. Sign Semenyo, he's not going to play him. Sign Gahey, he's not going to play him. Like, you can sign whoever you want. They're not going to get picked. They're not going to get picked. So why are they coming to Liverpool? Why aren't they going to Manchester City on 300 grand a week? Why aren't they going to a City team that's been decimated by injury at the back? So Gahey knows, I'm going to be the starting centre-back now for the rest of the season. The World Cup's coming. There's a chance I can win the Premier League, and there's a chance I can win the Champions League. Am I going to win the Premier League with Liverpool? Am I going to win the Champions League with Liverpool? No. So Gahey's picked the right option in his mind. This obsession, I get it. There's a massive obsession over this guy because he was in a Liverpool tracksuit. We clearly didn't want that guy at the start of the season. Like, that was an afterthought. At the end of the window, it was like, oh, okay, we've got money left. Palace want to do a deal. The rumours are Crystal Palace came all the way up to Liverpool and said this was after the Community Shield. Officials came up to Liverpool a couple of days later and literally said to Liverpool, do you want Mark Guéhi? Like, he's available to buy. Do you want to buy him? And Liverpool were like, oh, okay, then, yeah, we'll give you a take it or leave it offer. And we gave them a take it or leave it offer of 35 million. And they accepted. Like, it just didn't happen. But Liverpool weren't that arsed. Like, I'll be straight up, like, he was not a number one target for Liverpool. He was right down the bottom. And it was, well, if we can get it done, we'll get it done. But if not, we'll just get him on a free in the summer. Because we always knew he would be available on a free. And you have to ask the question, and this is what I mentioned in Don's show with Ram, was Gahey an Arnie Slot signing, or was Gahey a board signing? And the question is, it's probably an Arnie Slot signing, because if he's not getting bought now and the board wanted him last window, then he would have got bought. We would have gone against Manchester City if we really wanted the guy, because he's one of the board signings, as in Richard Hughes. But if he wasn't, and he was a Arnie Slot pick, because there's been Arnie Slot picks, like for us to give 250 grand a week to Cody, that's an Arnie Slot backing. Like, we backed Arnie Slot to give him a new contract. We backed Arnie Slot to give Bradley a new contract. Like, these things are to do with Arnie. Yeah, they really are. And I don't think Gahey was. I think that was Arnie Slot. It was like, I want Mark Gahey. I want Zubimendi. We didn't get Zubimendi. Okay. I want Mark Gahey. Okay. We'll try for him. We couldn't get him. Now, Mark Gahey's available. Arnie Slot might still want him. The board are like, nah, you're not going to be here. I don't think he's going to be here. I don't think he's going to be here. Otherwise, why hasn't Arnie signed a new contract? Why hasn't we put a new contract in front of on the table? We've just won. We've just gone on 11 games unbeaten. Like, we're fourth in the table. We're eighth in the Champions League. You know, we're in the FA Cup still. Like, we're now picking up form. Why isn't there any conversations around Arnie Slot getting a new deal? Nothing. Gone. On hold. Nothing. Haven't signed anybody in this window. Nobody in this window. And the rumours are that Semenyo was vetoed by Arnie. Is there an element that Semenyo was picked Man City over Liverpool? Is he going to get picked at Liverpool? He's probably sat there going, well, look how shit Cody's played, and Rio doesn't get any game time. Chiesa doesn't get any game time. Like, nobody gets any game time above those players. So he's probably sat there going, do I really want to go to Liverpool right now? Like, even Mark Gahey, do I really want to go to Liverpool right now? Like, you have to ask the question. You have to ask the question. So, do I think anybody's going to be signed in January? No. No, I don't. I don't. Do I think anybody's going to be signed in the summer? Yeah, I think we're going to have another big summer, and I think it's going to be with a new manager. I think it's going to be with a new manager, and it certainly isn't going to be Oliver Glasner. It's not going to be Oliver Glasner, is it? Because Gahey didn't come to Liverpool. So you would think Gahey would go to Liverpool if Oliver Glasner was going to be Liverpool's next manager. You have to look at it like that. So it's just interesting. It's an interesting situation. Big up, Hussam. Thanks for the raid. Really appreciate it. I just think it's really, really interesting, the scenario that we're in right now. And there's a couple more things I want to share. So I wanted to bring this up because I think this was an interesting situation. And there's a lot of rumours. There's a lot of rumours that Johnny Heitinger wanted to return to Liverpool, but Arnie didn't want him back at the club. So there's a lot of rumours around that there was an option to get him. There was also an option to get the throwing coach that Jurgen Klopp had, who's the best in the world. And he was not wanted either. So there is an element that Arnie still has some say on what happens, or maybe they didn't want to bring in Johnny Heitinger because Arnie's not going to be around at the end of the season. So why would we sign new coaches for a guy that isn't going to be there? That's the question. That's the $1 million question. It really is. Big up for the raid, Hussam. Really appreciate it. Big up everyone that's just joined in. If you could hit the likes and subscribe, that would be amazing. Also, a big up S Yoko for the super chat. Thank you very much for the Hussam raid. And that is the question. Like, why are you going to give a manager coaches? Why are you going to give a manager players if you don't see the manager there in the next 4 months? Seriously, if you don't see him there in the next 4 months, then there's just no point. There is no point spending that money. There's no point appointing these coaches because there's no future. And I said this I said this before. Like, I don't know who I'm more angry with. Like I obviously have to be angry with Arnie because we didn't get these two for a start. But would have these two come to us if Arnie would have had a better season? Potentially. But would have we needed them if Arnie was having a better season? Probably not. Like, we wouldn't be talking about Semenyo and we wouldn't be talking about Gahey if all our players had been banging them in and we'd have been winning more games. Because you have to look at it. We dropped points, Leeds twice, Sunderland, Nottingham Forest, and then you've got Fulham. Like, you just add those points up and we're already in second place. Like, we're like 3 points behind Arsenal or 2 points behind Arsenal just with those games. And they're all easy games. They're all winnable games. Like, there's not one of those games that we shouldn't be going and winning against all of those teams. And then the conversation is completely different. Like, if you'd won those games, or you'd not lost to Chelsea, you'd not lost to Manchester United, you'd not lost to Crystal Palace, and you'd have got a point at all of those games, that's another 3 points. Like, in those games, you were drawing late on. Like, you'd done the hard part and you'd got the equaliser in those 3 games alone. Take the points and run. Like, for the last, 15 games, we have literally been so defensive that we've not been able to attack. You could have done that against those 3 teams when you got the equaliser and gone, you know what, guys, let's just get back here. Let's just defend this point because we don't deserve it, but we got it and we move on. It's all about game state. It's all about managing games. And this guy is clueless. Like, right now, we are just stumbling along, fumbling along, muddling along in games, trying to get a point or a win. And it's not with any control. It's not with any set pattern. It's not with a tactic. It's just loads of midfielders, loads of defenders, backs against the wall, everyone in the box, and a moment of magic might get us a goal. He said it himself. He said it himself in press conferences. If we can't score a moment of magic, we can't create a moment of magic. That's what he says. If we can't create a moment of magic, or we can't get a set piece goal, then there's nothing there. Well, that's down to you, buddy. That's really down to you. So I've got some funnies for you just to cheer you up a little bit. Okay, just a couple of things to cheer you up. Did anyone notice that that Michael Carrick took Rumours Amorim's shoes? I always throw a few funnies in there, so we can't always be so sad all the time. Manchester United, Arsenal. What else have we got? Every legend has a weakness. This was by Ekitike, by the way. I just want to point this out. This was on Ekitike's Instagram account. So he's kind of taken the piss out of his own manager in a way. Every legend has a weakness. Samson, Achilles, Ekitike facing the low block. Just want to put that out there. Just putting that out there. I thought that was a really interesting post that he put up, because Arnie never shuts up about low block. Never shuts up about low block. And he never shuts up again about PSG as well. Also, there's a funny video of Virgil van Dijk walking past Andy Robertson in the background after the Barnsley game. And Robbo turned around and said, "The board was speaking to you, mate," which is also a little bit of a dig as well. The fact that they are interviewing players all the time about how bad Liverpool have been. What else have we got? This one here. In Bradley's absence, Jeremy Frimpong and Joe Gomez can deputise, while Dominic Szoboszlai and Curtis Jones are able to operate there if required. This was from Arnie. Okay, there's no right back coming. There's no right backs coming in. Okay. If you can hit the like and subscribe, that would be amazing. There's over 150 of you in here. I've got a few more bits I want to share. Amazing. I've just hit 2,000 subscribers. Really, really appreciate that. Thank you very much. If we can get like another 10, that would be amazing to like take me past 2,000. So I stay above it. That would be amazing. Really appreciate it. Couple more bits. I thought this was really interesting. This is about Brentford. Have a look at the amount of money Brentford make off strikers. They bought Ivan Toney for 6 million, sold him for 50. Bought Visser for 11, sold him for 67. Bought Ollie Watkins for 2.4 and sold him for 38. And brought Brian Mbuemo for 7.5 and sold him for 88. Like, I'm not being funny. Like, Brentford are monsters at signing strikers and selling them. How much do you think they're going to get for Thiago? Seriously, how much do you think they're going to get from Thiago? Thiago's going to go to a big club, isn't he? That's obvious. Like, really, really good business. Really good business. Really shrewd business. Couple of bits. I want to mention like another reason why we probably haven't got, so we probably aren't going to get a defender, is because we signed this guy from Burnley and nobody's mentioned it. Nobody's mentioned it. Like, we signed their under-21 captain, who can also play as a right back. He's very highly rated. He averaged 1.43 successful tackles and 2 aerial duels, and he's 6'3". So he is the perfect defensive signing. In the eyes of Liverpool, what do we want? We want a guy that wins duels. We want a guy that wins the ball in the air. Like, we want that guy. We also want someone who's like a leader. So this guy was the captain for the under-21s. Like, we've gone and picked Burnley's best defender out of their academy. So you have to look at what we're doing as well behind the scenes. Like, defensive wise, we've got a really poor academy for defensive players. Like, we tried to play Nallo and he keeps on getting sent off. So he's going to go on loan. Like, other defensive players have just never cut it. They've never cut it, and they've gone on loan and they've not been able to perform. Like, we've had problems with left backs. We've had problems with right backs. Like, Quansah made it. Conor Bradley made it. Quansah wanted to leave. Like, and I get it. Like, I get it. Like, there's a lot of people that talk about we should have kept Quansah. Quansah wanted to leave Liverpool to play football. That is just a fact. Go and check it yourself. Like, go and do the research yourself. He asked to leave the club to play first team football. He was at an age where he felt he was good enough to go and play first team football. And you have to remember, he's now played for England. Like, him getting a move to Bayer Leverkusen was a brilliant decision for his career because he's now playing for England. He wasn't playing for England for Liverpool. He was in the squad. He went in the squad a few times, but he never got a cap. But now he's playing for England. And there's a very good chance that if Quansah has a good season with Bayer Leverkusen and they finish second or third, he could get called off for the World Cup. There is a high probability that could happen because he's a very good defender. He wanted to leave. We got a lot of money for him. Like, that's just what it is. Like, that's just how it is. Like, and also he did wrong by his manager. Like, he binned him after one game and then never seen the light of day. What is Quansah supposed to do? Like, what is he supposed to do? Like, Konate got injured and Gomez came in. Quansah didn't come in. Gomez got played as a centre back, and then he used Quansah when he had no right backs, like emergency right back. He used him like once or twice. So look, there's a situation here where Liverpool are starting to do things for the future and potentially for the academy for when the next guy comes in. Because the next guy isn't in charge of the academy. He's not buying the players for the academy. Like, Arnie didn't buy this guy. Like, Arnie didn't pick the two defenders that we've signed, the Senegalese guy and the Austrian. He didn't. They were signed by the academy. So they were signed by a Julian Ward or a Richard Hughes or people who scout for the academy players. And this is another one. But this guy is a potential. He could be, instead of having, you talk about, oh, well, what if Konate is injured? Okay, we play Gomez. Gomez is perfectly fine. I've got no problem with Gomez playing as centre-back. He's really good. He had the best centre-back partnership ever with Virgil van Dijk, for me, in my eyes. So you have him, and Konate's injured, or he's been sent off. Who have you got on the bench? Okay, you've got this guy. He's just on the bench. That's all he is. He's just on the bench. So you've got this guy. Okay, so you have him instead of a 17-year-old Welton Lucky. Or you have him instead of a Aman and Allo who's always getting sent off. Or you have him instead of some other kid. Or you have him instead of playing Endo as centre-back. So Liverpool have done some business which is going to help us. So that's what I see with that situation. And also, this kid used to be an academy player for Liverpool, by the way, before he went to Burnley. Who else? There's been rumours that we might look at him as an emergency transfer. Julian Ryerson from Borussia Dortmund. I think he's 28. There has been rumours that he is potentially someone that we've looked at as like a break glass option, but I don't know. Like I don't know. Like, the whole Bradley situation has really made us probably go, look, what do we do with this right back situation? Because all you're doing is getting a player in as a backup. That's all you're getting him in as. You're getting him in as a backup. So what are you selling him? What kind of dream are you selling this guy? You're not really, are you? Because the reason he's probably left his other club is because he doesn't play enough football. And then he's coming to Liverpool to be another backup, which is what he probably was at his other club. And the reason he wants to leave is because he wasn't playing enough. So you just have to look at that situation. When we have signed him, like, and I'm not saying he's gonna come in and I'm not saying he's gonna come in and play for Liverpool. He's not. But that is another body in the door who is a talented player. So, and there's also Luke Chambers is back as well at Liverpool, like with his injury. Like his injuries, he's over his injury. He can also play centre back. So we do have players, and we do have academy players that aren't bad. Like Luke Chambers. There was a time when I thought Luke Chambers could definitely be back up to Robbo. There was definitely a time when I seen Luke Chambers as, hang on a minute, surely he should be pushing Simicast now, like moving Simicast on and giving Luke Chambers a chance, or Owen Beck. Owen Beck's back as well, but he's injured. But Luke Chambers is over his injury. But we are building an under-18s academy to catch up with where it's fell off. What else have we got? I don't really want to bang on about Arnie, to be honest. Yeah, I'm not really. What else do I have? Yeah, I want to just bring this up as well. I mean, does anyone think that Tommy Hilfiger doing Liverpool's kit would be unbelievable? Would anyone buy that kit? Literally sign me up for that kit. Like, that is absolutely stunning. That is an awesome kit. Anyone think they'd buy that kit? Put it in the chat. Yeah. All right, then. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to quickly do a match preview of the of the game tomorrow. So just bear with me. Ooh. Okay, so Liverpool. Where is it? Why haven't I got it? Hang on. Where is it? Fixtures. I haven't got a preview. Is there no preview? How is there no preview? It's tomorrow. Okay. Right. So I've got an update here. Okay. So the Reds welcome the Clarets to Anfield at 3 p.m. on Saturday, aiming to extend their unbeaten run to 12 games. Let me just share my screen. 2 seconds. Let me just share my screen. Bear with me so you can see this as well. Where is it? Here. So share my screen. Let me just take away the chat. Okay. And maybe a bit smaller. There you go. Okay, yeah. So Slot held his pre-match press conference on Friday morning and reported that long-term absentees aside, he has no new injury concerns. Even though Alexis McAllister didn't train, I just want to mention that. Yes, we got a few injuries. We got Leone for the season, Connor Bradley for the season, Alexander Isak out for multiple months, which makes me think that he might be back before the end of the season, but I doubt it. Mo Salah's also out with the third place playoff. Slot confirmed on Friday that Salah will return to Merseyside next week, and was asked whether the number 11 would be in the Champions League match for Marseille. He replied, "That's something we are talking about together now," which is good news. And the visitors, meanwhile, may be able to call on Joe Worrell, and with defender Lyle Foster set to be checked after the game. Zian Fleming, top goal scorer, has been ruled out. That's good news. Their top goal scorer's out. Their boss Parker told the media, "Joe is in contention. He's close now. He's been on the grass, and we'll make sure decision to see whether he'll travel." That's Joe Worrell. Like, these guys, like who are they? Like, seriously, like, with the players we've got, like, who are they? So we played 21 games each. We've scored 32 goals. They've scored 22 goals. We've had 84 shots on target. They've had 63. Our shooting accuracy has been worse than them. We've got 40%. They've got 50. This is Burnley, by the way. Conversion rate, 15%. Theirs is 17. And we've got 21 assists and they've got 15. Like, that's awful by us. The Clarity injury list also includes Amadune, Bayer, Cullen, Roberts, and Trezor. They're all their good players. And they're also missing. They've also feature Axel Tunzabi and Hannibal. They're back on club duty now, so they're back. It's been pleasing to get them back. They brought a freshness to the group, fresh eyes, fresh energy, because they've obviously got players out. So the last match we played was obviously against Barnsley with Mamadashvili, Frimpong, Gomez, Van Dijk, Robertson, McAllister, Szoboszlai, Chiesa, Jones, Engamoa, and Cody. Burnley, they won 5-1 against Millwall, who were doing pretty well in the Championship, by the way. Weiss, Hartman, Esteve, Bruno Larson, Uko Chogu, Anthony, Jaden Anthony's been good for them. Chauna, Ekdal, Son, Lawrence, and Barnes. Wow, Barnes is still playing. That's crazy. What I wanted to do, I don't know why I've just done that. I wanted to share my tactics board and basically put a team together. Okay, so I'm just going to share my tactics board. So ignore this. I'm just going to put a team together now. So I think Kirkes will play. I think Virgil van Dijk, Canate, and I think Frimpong will be the right back. I think Gravenberch and McAllister. Actually, maybe Curtis Jones. Because McAllister didn't train. I think it's Ekitike, obviously. I think it's Dominic Szoboszlai as the right winger. I think it will be Wirtz in the 10, and it will be Cody on the left. Potentially that, because if McAllister's injured or he's not fit, then he'll be on the bench. So get rid of Lucky, get rid of Bradley. He's now on the injury list. Bloody hell, that list. Endo's back now. Rio's back. Ramsey will never play, so you might as well just stick him there because he's never going to get a game. Morrison, move him out as well. Pilling, move him out. Trey Naomi be on the bench. Gomez will be on the bench, and Chiesa will be on the bench. Does anyone think that'll be the team? And also, score predictions. I mean, I'm happy with Ekitike and Wirtz. Like, Ekitike and Wirtz is great for me, but obviously Cody and Kirkes have got no relationship whatsoever, so that could be that could be a disaster show, really, on that side, if I'm completely honest. There's a chance that Dominic Szoboszlai and Frimpong end up playing the same frigging position. So that could be that. Has anyone got any scores on the doors? Scores on the doors. Do you think we're going to win? Do you think we're going to get a draw? Let us know in the chat. Okay. All right then. All right, I'll leave it there then. All right. 0-0. 0-0. Brilliant. 5-0 Liverpool. Hat-trick. Verts brace. Mate, love it. I love your enthusiasm. I hope that works. 2-0. 2-0. Interesting. I think Dom on his channel said 2-1. Very tight game, yeah. I think potentially 2-1 as well, if I'm honest, or maybe 1-0. Maybe 2-1, 1-0. Yeah, I think it'll be another real bitty game, another bore fest. Maybe a rocket, maybe a worldie by someone. Let's see. But that's me for tonight. If you haven't liked, subscribe, please do. Really appreciate it. Let me see if anyone else is live, and I will send you over. Bear with me. If I can get a couple more likes, that would be great. I'm on 47, so get a couple more likes, that would be great. And let's see if anyone else is live. I don't think they are. I don't think they are. No, they're not. Nobody else is live right now. What time are they on? No, they're not. No, nobody else is live. So I will bid you farewell, and you all have a good evening wherever you are, and big up the Reds.